A major shift in Washington's Ukraine strategy may be underway. The Washington Post reports that the United States and Ukraine have now agreed to revise a controversial draft peace plan, one that initially sparked outrage for allegedly mirroring key Russian demands. The leak of the original 28-point draft triggered alarm not only in Kyiv, but also across European capitals and within Washington's own political establishment. Critics accused the early proposal of pushing Ukraine toward territorial concessions and a weakened military posture. Over the weekend, US and Ukrainian negotiators met in Geneva and produced what they called an updated and substantially improved draft. The talks were held on November 23rd, just days before the Thanksgiving deadline reportedly set by President Trump. Secretary of State Marco Rubio described the Geneva round as the most productive so far, saying that the framework remains, quote, a living, breathing document, and no deadline is etched in stone. Analysts see Rubio's softer tone as a positive signal for Kyiv.
I will mention that there were items that we were discussing as part of the original 28, or it evolved. This is a living, breathing document. Every day with input, it changes. I can tell you that the items that remain open are not insurmountable. We just need more time than what we have today. I honestly believe we'll get there.
European leaders, however, remain cautious. Several EU capitals privately conveyed that the initial draft appeared dangerously tilted toward Moscow's positions. Brussels is now preparing counterproposals as the next phase of consultations begins. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the revisions but underscored that, quote, no borders can be changed by force, not in Europe, not anywhere. He also welcomed progress on sensitive items, such as prisoner exchanges and the return of deported children.
These are important steps, but to achieve real peace, more is needed. Of course, we all continue working with partners, especially the United States, and look for compromises that strengthen, but not weaken us. And it is crucial to support the principles on which Europe stands, that borders cannot be changed by force, that war criminals must not escape justice, and that the aggressor must pay fully for the war he started.
Meanwhile, earlier President Trump had also attempted to downplay the controversy, insisting the leaked text was not my final offer. But US lawmakers from both parties condemned the early draft as an act of appeasement toward Russia.
No, not my fault. No, we'd like to get the peace. It should have happened a long time ago. The Ukraine war with Russia should have never happened. If I were president, it never would have happened. We're trying to get it ended. One way or the other, we have to get it ended.
The Geneva update suggests Washington is recalibrating after pushback from Europe and Kyiv. But key questions remain unresolved. Territorial red lines, long-term security guarantees for Ukraine, and how far the US is willing to pressure Kyiv in pursuit of a settlement.